Welcome to Muslim Apologetics Australia. It's disgusting how much negative news the media posts about Qatar because they're hosting the World Cup. They bring up all these human violations and bring up politics into the sport when the very fabric of West was built on the back of the African slave trade, and many genocides were committed for the great cause of Western progression and the road to enlightenment. In fact, up until our modern age, many workers in the South Asian part of the world have been exploited by Western corporate companies like the sports brand Nike, which either underpaid its workers or made them work in those factories with poor, unethical conditions. But did this stop the West, who took advantage as a consumer? They didn't complain globally, nor did they boycott it, or was it ever amplified as they speak about Qatar. No one suggests boycotting the colonialists, but because those Muslim countries do not wish for Western culture to dominate them, and the Muslims wish to preserve their own beliefs, they are constantly abused. Perhaps one needs to ask why secular liberalists act like a dictatorship. Why can't they accept to respect each other's cultures? As a Muslim Australian, I am told if I don't respect the law of the land, which is secular and liberal, then I should go back home. But if Muslims do go back home, we are not free to practice by our own culture. We are told we need to accommodate other cultures and beliefs that are contrary to our own. So I ask, why don't you accept that very same standard? For example, if I was to try and promote Islam in Australia, you would say, Islamization, take your culture back home. Well, you don't, because you believe your beliefs are superior. That's why you don't allow that. And that all other cultures should adhere to it. So I ask then, why blame other cultures if they also believe their cultures and values are superior to yours? For example, when they forbid the drinking of alcohol or they forbid the promotion of LGBTI flags. Please, enough of your crocodile tears about caring for migrants. As if you guys care about migrants. We have seen the way migrants are treated as they fled Syria and Iraq. We have seen the way they drowned in the sea because their boats were forcefully turned. And the blockages that were placed on those borders, where those poor migrants, many of them, froze to death trying to escape to Europe. Not to mention the thousands of migrants, some of them children, kept in Western detention centers for years, isolated from society because they are fleeing persecution. But of course, only where Muslim nations are seen to oppress some migrant, now you suddenly care about migrants. Really? The bottom line is this: you cringe at the idea that Muslim nations are becoming developed, and so you will do anything in your means to undermine its development. Human abuses exist in all places and workplaces. Qatar is not alone or unique. These critics are only expressing how xenophobic and Islamophobic they are and nothing else.